All right, so we got another Toyota that needs a frame done. So this one actually came from Staten Island, New York. We use a lot of salt in the roads and stuff there. So one thing I want to show you guys, like I get a lot of comments, how much does this cost to fix, or can I send you pictures and stuff? It's really hard to tell until you get under here and really look at it. So let me show you something. So when they brought this car over, right, you look at it and you're like, oh, this side don't look too bad. So that hole wasn't even there. But I took a little hammer. I literally grabbed the hammer like this and started tapping, and it went. And it went right. Basically, it goes right through. Okay, so you need to check, like, you need to check it. Like over here, I'd probably do the same thing. All right, watch. And then, see what I'm talking about? So that needs to be repaired. This side's okay. This we're gonna repair on this side. We're gonna take this thing off and do something with that. But this side's really bad. We're gonna get all that out of there. We're gonna plate this whole side, inside, outside, and fix all that. Okay. You can see all the rust just popping out of it. And there you go, watch. I don't know if you can see that. Alright, get in there. And then there you got another hole. So make sure that we got, check all the spots, but it's hard to tell in a picture until you start really digging into it. So I'm more than willing to look at it on the lift for you, like we did this one, and then you could kind of get a gist of what it's going to cost you. All right, so let's get on with this one. I got to go over to Dutra and pick up some new panels, and we'll get started on this one today. All right, so what we're gonna do is all that stuff on the floor, we got to get all the rust that's in here that's flaked off, like all this stuff. We got to get all that out of there. And we're gonna cut this open right here. We're gonna cut that rust away, get all this stuff out of it. All in here is all full. All right, that's all full of stuff. We got to get all that out of there. And then we got to get all this rust out of here by beating it with a hammer. Get all the flaked up stuff off it with a wire brush and whatever we're going to use to get all that off. Okay, all this got to come out. So we're going to take the wheel off, take the mud flaps off both sides, because we got to work on that side also. So once we get the wheels off, then we have a little bit more room to work with over here, because this got to get, this whole, both sides of these got to get rebuilt. And then that'll give us a little access more. And then I'll show you the pile of rust on the floor when we're done. Getting all that out of there and kind of beating the rust out of it. Cutting all the old stuff away. So this is definitely going to get cut away. Those are going to get opened up and keep cut away. So same thing with that side, right? So we're working with some clean stuff. And then we'll show you what we're going to do about welding the new parts in. Alright, so we got the wheel off. Now you can really see the extent of this. So what happens is, once this is sealed off, right? So once it gets a little, start getting a little pinhole, and then it just gets worse and worse, progressively worse, because now this is still wet dirt in here. And it probably hasn't rained in, I don't know, a couple of days at least, right? So this is still like wet. And it just sits in there and it rots everything off. So we're going to cut this, cut that back, and then add a new plate here. And we'll check the bottom, make sure that's good. But we're going to blow all this out, clean all this out. We're going to treat it with something in there real good so we can get in there and then box it back in. I'm going to go all the way to this where it's good here, obviously. Weld it all like that, both sides. Inside, outside. And then in there, that frame, this will be capped off from here and over. So, all right, we're gonna get it back up in the air a little bit higher and start cleaning all that stuff. I will blow it all out with the air blower and get all the crap out of it. All right. So this is just a little bit of what is in there. All right. Remember, I pulled the big chunks out already, so see if I can show you with this air blower out here. Hard to hold the camera and do this at the same time, but you're getting the gist of it. There is tons of stuff in here. It rusts from the inside out is basically what happens. Let me see if I can get some more of it out. I mean, I got to get it all out. But I'm trying to do some on camera so you can see it. It's loaded in there. Can't see it with the camera, but it's loaded in there. So we're going to get it all out, clean it up. I'll start blowing it from here, from the front of the frame, blow it all out the back, get all that crap out of it, and then we'll spray some stuff in there. All right, so we cut this out up to where it's good metal. Look at all this stuff in there. I mean, that's basically the inside of the frame rotting from the inside out. So that's what you got to get all this stuff out of here. I'm gonna reach back inside there, blow the rest of this stuff out. It's open on the other side. It's open on the other side there, so we can get all of that out of there. And then we'll be able to clean it all up. Well, yeah, there's a ton of junk in there. We still got to go in, way in there. All right. Dirty process, but got to be done. All right, so we got all the rust beat out of this side. All in between here. Folded all this back up so now it's flat. It's not open like that side was all peeled down, right? And I'm gonna grind all this clean, all the bottom, and then we're gonna add this piece of steel this way. Weld that in place on both sides. Weld it all in. Weld all that. And then I'm gonna start on that thing. That part. I'm going to get this situated first, and I'll bolt all the lines back together and get all that done. So I'm going to grind all this. Alright, got all that ground clean on the outside where it's still good. I'm going to finish making that nice and flat, and then we'll add that piece to it. All right, that is gonna be ready for that. Just to show you, it's amazing how much rust comes out of this thing. So I'm gonna sweep all that up and show you the pile. But that's not all of it. That's kind of one side and probably most of the other side, but I'm not done cleaning this side out yet. Let me sweep this up and I'll show you. I'm gonna get all this all cleaned up, and then I'm gonna get the welder out and start welding that side. All right.
First sweep up.
I swear there's gotta be 20 pounds of rust there. I'm not kidding. That's gotta be 20 pounds of rust.
It's crazy.
And that's only the first sweep up. I still got a bunch more to get out of this side. All right.
What a hole.
Get
there ain't nothing left of this side.
Yeah, no, I'm working on that side first. This is way.
Yeah,
I'll be done with that, and then I can move the lift, because I gotta be able to move the lift to get to the other side. So.
Okay.
Get a shovel, clean that up. I'm gonna start welding that side.
All right.
I already ground this up, so.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Alright, it's gonna be a while. Welding. Alright, so that's the two pieces welded together. That's all sealed off. Like that. All the way across, but I went all the way to here. So that's all sealed off. Now we're going to grab that piece and cap it off and weld it on the inside and the outside. So that section will be done, and then we can start working on the other piece. Alright, got that clamped in, and on the outside it'll be all clean, and got the little bit of a factory look back to it. So this will be all one big giant piece now. So we'll cap off the ends, weld the whole thing, and that side will be pretty much done. Alright, the inside's done. That's all welded. Now I gotta weld this seam right here to the outside, and that'll take care of that. That came out really good. That's way stronger than it was. Alright, picked up some new material for the job. Got some patch panel ones. So these are 2 by 4 inches, 4 foot long. And they're 12 gauge, so they're just shy 1/8 inch. But we'll see what we do with them when we put them on there. Alright, well, day number 2. So we got to go get the tank filled and another roll of wire, because I just welded all that yesterday. Got this side tacked up in place. Actually, that's going to look good. So we got to go get a roll of wire and a new tank filled up, and then we can start finishing these 2 sides, weld all that in. So we're heading to the welding place. All right, new tank, fill them up, new wire. Already started welding back up. So now we're gonna put this piece all together. Got that all welded. We're gonna go across the top, across the bottom, all the way across that. Fill all that in, and then we'll cap the outside. And then once that's done, then we can put the piece on the outside. Once that's done, then we can move the lift over and do the 2 front pieces. I'm gonna finish welding all this. I gotta finish grinding some of this stuff off here. All right, where are we at? Oh, I just finished welding all this. Finished welding all the outside of the inner part. And now we're cutting this one. We notched that. We're gonna notch all that right there to go around. I'll show you how we get that around that whole piece. So we got it notched. And put a slice in it so we can bend it a little bit. Because it's gonna go from here. It's gonna come past these rivets like that and around, up, and then all the way down, and then it's gonna have a bend in it because that's got a curve to it at the end. All right. And that's gonna fit like that. Right. And we got a notch this section right here so that this sits flat. And then we'll move the lift over and then we'll work on the whole front section. After I get this one in and weld it in place. I gotta take it back off and notch that piece right there now. All right, so you see how we did that? That's gonna get all tucked in nice and tight and welded, and then weld the seam. We open this up, right, and then that'll get welded across all the way around. That's gonna get cut and welded all the way around. This seam is really nice. And that cleans that whole side up. And it strengthens it, because now it's doubled. This hole will fill in. All right, now I gotta go to town and weld all that. And then when I get back here, then I'll just grab it with the pliers and start pinching it together real tight and weld it to the frame around. All right, let me get at it. Took that back off. I finished cleaning all the spots where it's got to be welded. Where that hole was, where these 2 pieces are going to meet. The wedge, I put a wedged piece in here. And now we're going to weld that shut. So that'll be welded on the inside. Then when the other piece comes around to overlap all this, that'll all get welded together. So it'll be sealed off and strong.
Getting this side all welded up. And then once we get this side done, then we can actually move this over, because then we're gonna have to fix all of this on this side. What a hole. Alright, got that all finished up. So, to move the lift further under. And now
all
we're
that's
gonna...
all welded. I gotta grind this and weld this.
Now we're gonna work on all this.
This gotta get welded back on.
Both sides of the body mount is messed up.
Go there. And I gotta reconstruct basically all this crap.
And then same thing on this side. This body mount.
The bottom.
No, just the body mounts.
Yep, I'm gonna do
Bad. Same thing.
bottom and sides.
Yep.
So if you want, you can start grinding
I'll grind
that.
all of
I already
that.
cleaned the inside of them out.
Yeah. But I'll just grind it all.
Grind
so
it
we
all clean.
can weld. Okay.
Okie grinding all that. I'm making a template for this piece. Oh, trace some out like that. So basically it's gonna look like that. It's gonna be a little bit longer on one side. And it'll fit up in there pretty good. So we gotta cut all this out. And he'll keep grinding all that up. And then he'll grind the other side up.
Cutting out our template.
Clean the edges up.
Yep.
And then kind of bend it to fit. I'm done today.
Let me clean the edge up on it.
Where's the other grinder?
Right there. I'll get it.
2 seconds.
Glove is right over there. Okay. And I finished up grinding this over here. Oh, we can put that in. That piece is gonna go all the way up to there.
Alright, so we got this thing moved over. Like I said, this side's done and working on the front, so we're making templates out of paper for the tops, for the sides. So that's basically gonna go like that. And then it'll get welded all the way around. This one will go on the bottom. Same thing, weld it all the way around. Then we'll make a hole so you can get to the nut. Same thing on this side. So we start getting these traced out onto the metal. I have 4 of those, so 4 of these, 2 of those. So we should be able to get it all out of that. If not, I got more, so we got plenty to go with that. This side's all welded up. I gotta weld the hanger back on. And I got this plate made up here. So this one's made up like that. That's gonna go along the bottom. And then we're gonna put a top piece on here on the inside. The outside is good. This is getting redone, obviously, like the other side. So this is getting a bottom and an inside piece. Good oak. All right, all the plates are made. Got them all deburred all the way around. Came out nice, so we're all ready with that. That probably takes a lot more time than you think, but anyway, so we got all them done now. Now we got to start putting them in place and kind of bending them into shape and welding them in. All right, so we're going to start putting these on. Got a hole where the bolt is for the body bushing in case you ever got to take that out, which you probably never have to take out, but I put a spot there so you know where it is. And that's going to get welded in, and then we'll do the sides. I'll finish cutting this stuff off here like that. Cut that off and then put the sides on it. All right, so the bottom one's on. Cut the other excess stuff off. I loaded it with weldable primer. That's all coated in there. And we're going to put the 2 sides on. Alright, so I got that side on, the bottom on. Working on the next part of it. I'm just gonna weld this down here, and then I gotta weld this whole seam and the top of that. Show you some welding while we're at it. Okay. You guys want to know how the welder works? That little welder is amazing. Yeah, let me show you them. I'll show you that weld right there first. All right. So you see how long it takes to do. So you have an idea. That was about 3 inches of weld. So you can imagine how long it takes to do it all, but that welder will keep up no problem. So in case you guys were wondering, I mean, I showed you this before. It's a 135. Let's say 30, 40, probably going on 40 years. I think this is either my third, it might be my third one in 40 years. Okay. This one I bought when I first moved down here. So that's this thing's 20 years old. 18 to 20 years old. And I put gobs of wire through that thing. I mean, like, these are 11 pound rolls. Right? Yep, 11 pound rolls. I bet you I put 100 of them things through this machine. All right, and it welds phenomenal. I mean, if it died right now, I wouldn't even complain. But beautiful. So, Lincoln on gas. Make sure you got it with gas. The other ones work too. I mean, I keep a roll of the non-flux, whatever it is, flux wire, just in case I ever run out. But you want to make sure you got it with gas, and it welds beautifully. Okay. All right. Let me get that other one welded up. All right, got that one on. I got the inside one on. Now we're making this bottom piece. The bottom one's next. I got that one cut up. Starting to shape it so it fits nice. Trim it up a little bit and make it fit perfect.
Alright, we're finishing up the last spot. Getting this welded up. So gonna go over all of this now on this side, and I'm gonna hit everything with some self-etch. I'm gonna just flake off whatever other kind of surface rust I see on the frame and stuff, and you know, that way I can give it a nice fresh coat of black paint, and we'll be good to go. Alright, so you hit all the bare spots with some self-etch. Okay, hit all that bare metal. I'll let that dry up. Still scraping some other spots off. And then after it's all painted, on the inside, I'll spray some of the
stuff on the inside, yeah.
the stuff on the inside.
Alright, well, all the welding's done. Now it's just a matter of cleaning all the scaly rust off, and all that rubberized crap off. Is harder to get off than anything else. And he's got all this pretty much all scaled off. Rear all scaled off. This side's all done.
I'm gonna be Michelangelo.
This side's all good. Got all the bare metal stuff all in self-etch primer. Got all this all done. Cleaned a little bit of these control arms off. Yes, sir. We gotta put the wheels back on, put the mud flaps back on after he's done. And we're gonna let it down. I gotta let all this stuff off. We're just cleaning off. I'm gonna let this down and put it over here more so I got a little spot I gotta weld on the inside right here. And then that's done. I missed that little spot. Alright, we're getting there, almost done.
Alright, this is the last bit of welding now that we moved the lift over. And then I'm gonna blow everything off, clean it all up, blow it all out real quick, and then I can paint it. I got my feet all on. I'm ready.
Okay, that welding's done. There. And that's it. Start putting everything away, get everything out of the way. It's gonna get real dusty in here, so I'm going inside. Alright, I'll show you the finished product when it's done. Coming out nice. Hold my breath in here. Oh yeah.
I gotta finish the top because I gotta lower it down now so I could get up there.
What is it like?
Yeah.
Yeah. All blacked out. We got the caps that are gonna go in that hole. After it dries up, I welded a stud right there so we can put the plastic caps back on. So those caps will go back in its spot. Front all looks good. Alright. Getting there. A little bit more to go. Picked up a whole nother case of paint. Here. Alright. Alright, gang. Well, paint is all done. Tires, everything's back on. Mud flaps back on. Where's the light, Josh? Oh.
I'm just checking again.
He's just going, checking it, but she's looking pretty now. Alright. Good for another 5 to 10 years. Alright. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys watching. Anybody needs anything done like this, let us know. And we'll see you on the next one. Hit that subscribe button, don't forget. And hit the bell if you want to see videos coming up.